and namaste, everybody. If you're like me, you spend much of your day sitting at your desk and working at a computer at a screen. And undoubtedly during the day or at the end of the day, your back will be really tight. And so today I would like to show you some very easy and simple yoga asanas to help you to loosen and stretch out your back. The great thing about these asanas is they work very well in a sequence. So I will demonstrate them in a sequence. And also they don't take a lot of time. You can do them in 10 minutes. You can do them in 15 minutes. You can do them in half an hour. You can do them as much time as you want, depending on how many sequences you do. So we're going to start by doing a standing forward fold. And then from there, we will flow into a downward dog. From downward dog, we come down to our knees into a cat and cow, which is very good for your spine. And then we end in a child's pose. So all of these asanas involve bending forward and bending backwards. And it's that bending forward and backwards that helps not just to keep your spine supple, but also to stretch your muscles, and it helps to keep the fascia within your body nice and limber. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and get started. I will demonstrate them for you, and then we'll go through a full sequence together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to step to the top of our mats right here. Our feet shoulder width apart, our chest and our face forward, our shoulders back. I like to roll my shoulders back a little bit. It helps me to keep them down. And with all of these movements, we're going to connect our breath with our movement. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to inhale, and as we inhale, we're going to bring our arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips and swan dive forward. Don't worry about how far you can go down. I can come down pretty far. I can touch with my hands all the way down to the ground. If you can't do that, don't worry about it. If you have a back problem and you can't come all the way down, you can use the wall for support to come down as far as you can. Then from here, we're going to inhale and come back up again. And then exhale and swan dive all the way down. Hinging at the hips, keeping the back straight. We're going to inhale and come halfway up. Really straighten the back. And exhale and forward fold all the way down. And now we're going to hold it here for a couple of breaths. I like to hold opposite elbows and let gravity just kind of pull me down naturally. Keep your knees slightly bent. You don't want to lock your knees here. That's how you end up pulling the tendon. So take another deep breath. Exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to raise halfway up. And on the next exhale, we're going to step into our down dog. So for down dog, we're going to step back up on our toes and really push back and take the time to really stretch nicely. Bring your heels all the way down. Push with your hands forward. Try to push the mat away from you. Straighten your back and take a few nice, long, deep breaths. If you can't bring your heels all the way down to the ground right here, don't worry about it. You can stay up on your heels. You can bend your knees as much as you can. The key here is to straighten your back and to remain comfortable. So inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to come up to our toes and come down to our knees. And when we're on our knees, we're going to inhale and arch our back, raise our chest and our heads, move forward, And as we exhale, we're gonna tuck our sits bone in, curve our spine, and look towards our knees. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do this a few times at your own speed. And again, here the key is the flexing and constricting of your back. So you want to come up with your chest and curve your spine. And now on the next inhale, we're going to inhale. And we're just going to hold right here for a couple of breaths. And you don't want to be too forceful with your spine here. What I like to do here is I like to let gravity just take its force on my back and naturally pull my belly down. I don't actually put any pressure on my spine here. On the next exhale, we're going to come to neutral position, what we call tabletop. I'm sorry, in the next inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring our toes together, our knees slightly wider than our hips. And we're just going to push all the way down and all the way back into child's pose. And we're just going to breathe here for a few breaths and let all that goodness sink in. If you're feeling up to it, you can spider crawl your hands forward. You can come up to your fingertips. When I'm doing this for the purposes of just stretching out my back, I just like to let everything relax all the way down. And again, let gravity do the work here. On the next inhale, we're going to come back up to tabletop on the inhale. We're going to tuck our toes and exhale into down dog. Inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to come up to our tippy toes, bend our knees, and step to the front of our mat. Then we're going to inhale halfway up. Exhale down. And then all the way back up. Inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale down. And that is it. That is the routine that I like to use to really stretch my back, I find it to be very calming. So I'm going to do it one more time, this time just with the verbal cues. That way you see what it looks like. Feel free to follow with me. So, again, feet shoulder width apart, shoulders back, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Hold for 4 breaths. Inhale halfway up. Exhale to down dog. Take some nice deep breaths here. Really allow yourself to feel the full dynamic of your breath. Exhale, come up to your toes and gently down to your knees. And inhale, arch your back, raise your chest and your head. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale into your static practice. Couple nice deep long breaths. Exhale into tabletop.
On the inhale, bring your toes together, spread your knees, and exhale down into child's pose. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Nice inhale, deep breath. And exhale into down dog. Inhale. On the next exhale, come up to your toes, bend your knees, and step forward. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. And exhale down. And that is it. That is the routine that I use almost every day to make sure that I keep my back nice and supple and work out any pain or tension that I might have there. I hope that you find this video useful and that you find these tips useful. If you do, please like the video, please follow the page, feel free to share it with whoever you think could benefit from this. With that, I wish you a wonderful day, sending light and joy out into the world. Namaste.